Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Great. It's been long since I've seen you guys. Ani, I'm okay. Am I audible to everyone? Yes or no? Okay, Pragya. It depends on a lot of factors are there, like different faculty members are there. It depends on a lot of things, availability, and what all projects we are working on. So depends. All right. So we're doing logarithms, and it's a very important chapter, I would say, because every year I have seen at least one question in logs every year. Sometimes you may expect even two, even two. All right. And see, in algebra, what happens? A lot of chapters are combined in form of functions. Okay, functions. So in functions, logs, modulus, inequalities can be used. So there will be one question directly on logarithms, and another question on logarithms, which will be in form of functions. Okay, so today we'll be doing everything about logs, and when we do functions, we'll be involving the logarithmic part of functions as well. Cool. So look at this man, one of my favorite mathematicians, and in fact, it is said that he ranks in the top 10 of the greatest 100 mathematicians of all times. You have no idea how much poetry there is in the calculation of a table of logarithms called Friedrich Gauss. Okay, poetry. He says there's poetry in logs. Okay, and people feel that mathematics is different from literature, but I feel it's the same. And why was log discovered? The thing is, if you wanted to calculate, let's say, 2 to the power 100 or 3 to the power minus 50, so it became very difficult for any kind of mathematicians to calculate this thing. So John Napier, he came up with the idea of logarithms, and because of him, I would say in one way that logarithm is the first calculator known to mankind. दुनिया का पहला calculator log था. It was not electronic, not mechanical. It was a table based on observation. So there's certain things which we need to understand about logs. If a to the power x is equal to b, okay, what does that mean? A to the power x is equal to b. For example, I'll give a parallel example as well. 2 cube is equal to 8. So can you draw the parallel? Exactly, Rohit. Someone said teach from perspective of non-engineers, of course. In fact, I do it always. People feel engineers are good at mathematics, but it's not always true. So a is the base over here, x is the exponent, the power, which is 3, and the value is it is equivalent to 8. So basically, in terms of log, I can say log is the inverse of exponents. This is exponent. इसका inverse. इसका inverse. So log b base a is equal to x. That is what the definition of log is. Or I can say syntax of log is. Is that clear? Which means log 8 base 2 is equal to 3. So it means that which power of base would I get the value of b? This is what it means. Is that clear, everyone? No doubt at all? Let's take one more example. 3 to the power 4 is 81. In terms of logs, I can say log 81 base 3 is equal to 4. All right? The simple definition. Okay. In cat, if the base of log is not given, the base is generally assumed as 10. Note this down. If the base is not given to you, you'll assume it to be 10. Naman, what's not clear? ये लिखने का तरीका है बस. 3 to the power 4 81 को log के terms में ऐसे log 81. Just draw the parallel, no? Look at this. Absorb the information. I'll wait for a minute. Tathagat, natural log is not in course of cat. We won't be doing natural logs. Base will always be given to you. If it is not given to you, then you will assume it to be 10. All right? Rohit, Tathagat, natural log is not in cat syllabus. That is why let's not even take its name. Okay, that will be pure mathematics. We won't go there. Cat is all about aptitude. All right? Log base ही नहीं करेंगे हम. भूल जाओ उसको. So let us look at a few properties of logs. I think Abbas sir yesterday took a session in which he told you a few properties, isn't it? And probably I think you have gone through it. You've gone through it all. And let's discuss it once more. log AB. This is called product rule. So what is happening here? A and B are two numbers getting multiplied. Need to find the log. So this can be written as log A plus log B. Okay? Log A plus log B. Yeah, Pranav, revising around. And I'll also give an example. So, for example, if I say log 2 multiplied by 4 and base is 2. So this can be rewritten as log 2 base 2 plus log 4 base 2. Is that clear? Check करते हैं जल्दी से. Is the voice very low? This is log 8 base 2. So tell me something. At which power of 2 do I get 8? The base is 2. At the base is 2. I think your name is Adarsh, right? The base is 2. In the property, base is not. Base can be anything. It's just a property. I've given the base in the example. So log 8 base 2 is equal to 3. है ना? Because at the third power of 2 we get 8. Log 2 base 2 will be 1 only. 2 की power 1 by 2 मिलेगा. And log 4 base 2 is 2. So see, this is satisfying. That means this formula is correct. Is that clear? Yeah, Advait, I forgot. Adarsh and Advait, I got confused. Advait Katti, right? Now I can recall. So it is satisfying. Clear to everyone? I'm going to erase this and tell you the next property. So this is called product rule. Why product rule? Because A and B are getting multiplied. This is product rule. So I give an example also. Anshika, I said log 8 base 2 is 3. Why? Because at the third power of 2, we get 8. That's why this will be equal to 3. So basically when we say log, we try to find the power of base at which this value exists. कुणाल अभी समझ में आ गया? Log 8 base 2 is 3. चलो एक और एग्जांपल देता हूं मैं. One more example. Log base 3 9. I can write it as log 3 base 3 plus log 3 base 3, isn't it? Can I do it? Why? Because 9 is 3 multiplied by 3. So it is at second power of 3 that we get a 9. This becomes 2 and this is 1 plus 1. So it is satisfying. I hope it is clear now, everyone. Okay, now coming to the next property that is called the quotient rule, log A by B. This will be equal to log A minus log B. Clear? Let me give you an example of it. If log 2 is equal to 0.3010, then find log 5. Okay? Vatsal, what happened? Vatsal, log 2 का cube क्या होता है? What is the value of 2 to the power 3? Vatsal, tell me. 2 to the power 1 is 2, 2 to the power 2 is 4, 2 to the power 3 is 8. That's why log 8 base 2 is 3. Okay? Well, look at this. So I'm saying if log 2 is this, then find log 5. Now this can be solved, this question, a simple question can be solved by using this formula. How? Log 5 can be written as log 10 by 2. Yes or no? Can we do that? Log 5 is log 10 by 2. Yes or no? Why we did it? Because we know the value of log 2, it is given in the question, and we also know the value of log 10. So log 10 by 2, A by B, is log A minus log B. That is equal to log 10 minus log 2. All right? Through the quotient rule. And the value of log 10 is what? As I told you earlier, that if the base is not given in aptitude-based questions, we assume it to be 10. So log 10 की value क्या हो जाएगी? Anyone? Log 10 की value 1 ही रहेगी. Log 10 base 10 is 1, and log 2 is given as 0.3010. So the answer is 0.6990. Is that clear? Cool? Simple? Great. One more. Log A to the power n. Log A to the power n. This is equal to n log A. So n goes in the left hand side. It multiplies log A. Let us look at an example. Log of, let's say, 10,000. Log 10,000. Log 10,000 can be written as log 10 to the power 4. By this property, this is equal to 4 log 10. And 4 log 10. And log 10 is 1 only. So we'll get 4 multiplied by 1. Or I can say 4. Clear? Perfect. Clear to all of you? Cool? Okay. One more. Log of 1 by A. So tell me, Kumar Akash, how log 10 is equal to 1? Because base is 10, no? 10 to the power 110 होता है. Wait brother. Gunjan, what happened? Tell after log 10. हाँ आकाश हमेशा करेंगे. Base 10 ही होगा. Ramo, it's the exact value, not approximate. Log 1 by. देखो ये जो फोर्थ वाला रिजल्ट है ना, this result can be derived from the third result. Third result क्या था? Third result was log a to the power n was equal to n log a, right? So look at this. Can I do something that this looks like that? Yes. How to do that? I can write it as log a to the power minus 1. I hope it is clear. Yes or no? सही है ना? 1 by a is a to the power minus 1. Tony, we don't have to calculate base. I think I told it thrice. I'm saying it again. If the base of log is not given, you have to always assume the base to be 10. Now ask me why 10? Why 10? Because 10 is the 10 because we always use decimal number system, and decimal number system has 10 as the base. All right. 10 fingers. याद है बचपन में पढ़ा होगा. We have 10 fingers, so base was 10. That is what came into existence. The base is always 10. Always, 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 always. Okay. But if I was teaching you pure mathematics, I would have said the base is E, which we are not going to use in CAT. 10 ही मान के चलो, always. Okay, so it is same. Tell me something. 1 by A is always equal to A to the power minus 1. But तो गुस्सा तो मैं होता नहीं यार. Okay, so following the same logic, minus 1 comes here. We have minus log A. Is that clear? No, Rohit. Log 1 is defined. Log 1 is equal to 0. What is why minus 1? Which part? अच्छा, oh, सबको ये पता है ना? That whenever you have negative power, this basically, let's say we have a to the minus 2. This means 1 upon a square. All of you know this, yes or no? Yeah, Kadambri, that can be done. The problem is that some people do not know this. I'm assuming you know these things. कि a की power minus 1 by a ही होगी. ये तो पता है ना? A to the power minus 3. What does that mean? 1 upon this minus is gone. We have a cube. I hope all of you know it. हाँ तो ये क्यों पूछ रहे हो कि minus 1 क्यों आ गया? ये तो पता है ना? हाँ, नहीं पता तो ये मालूम पड़ गया होगा. Okay. Chandru, log can be negative. Wait, we'll come to that. First, write the properties, then I'll show you everything. Log can be negative. Who said log cannot be negative? Now, coming to fifth point. Log of A, we have A here, and the power is m by n. The power is m by n. This will be equal to, कौन बताएगा मेरे को? What will be the value? Yeah, simple. M by n log A. In some cases, it can also be 1 by n log a to the power m. It can be manipulated. We use this if a to the power m is calculation is easy, then we can use this. But from the property, this is what actually happens. ठीक है. Sixth, a very important property. ध्यान से देखना, this is very important. Sometimes there are direct questions on this property because people tend to confuse this one. Now a is the base, and in the power we have a log x base a. Are you getting it? This is going to be very important. A to the power log x base a. Who will tell me that what is the value of this? This will be equal to x. Very good. This is a very, very, very important property. I'll give you an example of this so that you understand. 2 to the power log 4 base 2. Let's calculate this one. Correct? Chalo. So tell me something. 2 is there, and in the power we have log 4 base 2. So at which power of 2 do I get 4? ऊपर क्या मिलेगा? Just the power. We'll get 2 here. Log 4 base 2 is 2. Isn't it? Log 4 base 2 is 2. Right, Kashish? Log 4 base 2 is nothing but 2. So if you solve it, you'll get 4 as the answer. So now look at this property and draw the parallel. This 4 becomes the answer. Clear? I'm repeating, this is a very, very, very important property. Okay. So before going further, I want you guys to solve a few questions based on these properties, and log can be negative or not. We'll be coming to that as well. Fifth one example, that it's very much similar to the previous examples. It can be anything. Log 2 to the power 1 by 3 is nothing but 1 by 3 log 2. That's it. It's similar to the fourth property. So no problem there. Jay Gupta, I'm giving you an example to make you understand the property. If it's not a multiple of 4, that will be a part of questions. We'll do that as well. Right now, we are trying to understand the properties of logs. Okay? Apriti, what happened? Not clear. Why not 2 instead of 4? Kyun? Log 4 base 2 is 2. Akriti, yes or no? If you look at just the power, what is the value of log 4 base 2? Tell me something. Is it 2? Yes or no? So this whole becomes 2 square, which is equal to 4. 2 ki power 2 is 4 only. Yes or no, Akriti? So I gave you an example to prove this property. See, A is 2 here, this A is 2 here, this X is 4 here, and we got 4 as the answer, which is the value of X only. Now it's clear. Okay, cool. So let us do a few questions. This is the first question. I'm giving you 2 minutes to solve this, and then we'll do one more, and then we'll discuss how logs behave graphically. All right. So let us have a look at it step by step. This is the question. Okay. Now try to understand. Whatever we have here, let us look at the first log. Let us look at the first log. Okay. This is log and the base is 3. Is that clear? ठीक है सब लोग ध्यान से देखेंगे और will tell me step by step. So I have just written log 3 and whatever is in this bracket, let's try to forget it for a while. Let it be nothing but a dabba. Okay. This is equal to 1. Okay. Whatever is inside the dabba, I don't really care. Now things will be clear to you because you have seen so many logs at once that you tend to forget and you tend to get stuck and shocked. Is it clear now? Tell me something. What will be the value of this dabba? 3 to the power 1. Am I right? Is it right? Getting it? अब आसान लग रहा है. This dabba is equal to 3. The dabba was this. The dabba was log. Now in the dabba, let's take first log, log 4. And this one, let it be gola. Okay? Okay? This is equal to 3. Yes or no? Is that clear? Any problem? No? अब log हटाऊंगा मैं तो this gola will be how much? This gola will be what? 4 to the power 3. So gola is equal to 4 cube is how much? 4 to the power 1 is 4, 4 square is 16, 4 cube is 64. So this gola is 64. And gola was what? Gola was log x base 5. So what is this x? 5 यहाँ चला गया, 5 to the power 64. We got the answer. Clear? It is similar to the BODMAS rule. Bracket should be solved first and all that stuff. So now I think it's clear. अब हम पे जरूरत नहीं थी, x आ गया था, हर्ष. Perfect. I think all of you got that now. Solve same way, yeah, very good. Radha? मतलब मैं डब्बा क्यों बोल रहा हूँ? Why I'm saying that? Shubhangi, we don't have to take log on both sides because already on left hand side we have a log. If you take one more log, things will be lost. Okay, yeah. So I said dabba just because I wanted you guys not to get scared of this huge expression. Because algebra can be scary for people because it involves huge expressions, isn't it? That is why you're scared of algebra. So I just try to eliminate those huge expressions. Whatever is inside this, I just said, okay, let it be, ignore it. Ye clear hai? Log 3, log base 3 of something. I took dabba as example. Yeah. So now you know, from definition of log, let us try to recall what we did in the beginning of the class. I said a to the power x is equal to b, which means log b base a is equal to x. Now try to understand this. This b is dabba, a is 3 and x is 1. तो क्या मिल जाएगा हमें? Now can you actually relate to it? See, so this a goes here and x goes to the power. That becomes the value of b. So when I took dabba, the value of dabba will be 3 goes here, 1 goes to the power. Very much similar. Those who could not get it earlier, now, are you able to understand? Take a deep breath, look at this for a minute, try to correlate these two, and things will be sorted. And similarly, we can do the further steps. Clear to all of you? Got it now? Very good. See, the thing is, what I did over here, dabba, gola, ये सारी बातें maths में हम बोलते नहीं हैं. Our main motive is to solve the question. And how to solve it? By looking at least possible values as possible. And we can do that by ignoring the irrelevant information at every step. Okay? So whatever is inside this bracket was irrelevant to us in the first step. That's why we ignored it. Clear? Okay. So this is what I do in normal life also. What is relevant, I solve that first. And in the irrelevance, I get the next relevance. I hope it is clear. Coming to next question. Try to solve this one. ये क्या है? इतने सारे प्लस. What does that mean? बस अब तो समझ में आ गया हो यार. शुरू में माइनस नहीं है. This is question and hyphen. There's no minus. And Travis head is out. Yeah, by Stark. I wanted to watch this match, but there's this class. All right. Well, I think this one was easy. Which rule would you use here? Which rule? The first property, right? The product rule. So if you remember, do you remember this? I'm going to see in logs what happens because algebra looks difficult to people and logs look very difficult. So I'm going to write the property again and again in every question so that you don't get confused. Log A plus log B. What was it? It was equal to log AB from the product rule. Do you remember that? The first property. So this can be written as log of 4x. Am I clear? Clear? Now as I can see this log on both sides, so log can be ignored. And all we'll have is 4x is equal to 4 plus x. Right? Very easy. Which means x comes here, we have 3x is equal to 4, or we can say x is equal to 4 by 3. Very easy question, just from the first property. Nothing much here. Coming to next one. This can be a good question. This is, I would say, the first cat level question of today. The previous two questions were basically the concept builders. Now we have a question. Okay, Bobby. Abhishek Sharma is also out. Should I solve it? Okay. This. The left hand side, I can break it in two parts. How? Log A base 15 whole upon log A base 15 log A base 32. Right? Plus log A base 32 whole upon log A base 15 multiplied by log A base 32. This is equal to 4. Clear? I think this is clear to all of you. Yes or no? Is this clear? Advat, you can expect one question. Log is important, and don't worry. Even this is the first class, and it's not even halfway. Do not give up. You're going to enjoy it. Logs. If you solve a few questions every year, we expect one question. One question is a lot, actually. You just have to remember all the properties. Rest everything is solved. I would always say never skip anything in algebra. Every chapter in algebra will have one question. Okay, now if I solve this, these two go away. So now we have 1 by log A base 32. 1 by log A base 32. Now comes a property which I didn't tell you earlier because I wanted that property to be known to you when this question comes. And that is, now see very carefully. Log B base A is equal to 1 by log A base B. Clear? Note this down. We are making the notes for the properties. Jot down this property as well. And this property is something which can be, some smart people could derive it already. It's not that something which cannot be derived or understood. Is that clear? So with this property, I can use it. So what I can do, and why I'm doing it? First of all, okay, I know this property, now why should I do it? Here we have a base 32, here we have a base 15. If I reverse it, I'll get log 32 base a, and here I'll get log 15 base a. So here I can see when I did it, I got the common bases, and now I can use the other properties as well. Here to make the base same. Vihana, very good. Very good. Now we can use the first property, the product rule. Log this plus this is nothing but we can just multiply them. So we have log 32 multiplied by 15 at base a. Cool. 32 just multiply 450, 480 is log 480 base a. Okay. And this was all equal to 4. Great. Now, the next step will be a goes here. So we have a to the power 4 is equal to 480. Cool. This is what we have. And there's asking a must lie in what range? Exact value of a cannot be determined. Mehat, no worries. So note all of this down. Once you note it, type note it in the comments and I will tell you how to solve it further, how to get the range of a. Is that clear, everyone? Note it down. Mehak, तुमने यहाँ तक कर लिया तो फिर तो क्वेश्चन रिजॉल्व हो गया actually. Noted. So the thing is, 480 is not a perfect biquadratic. When I say biquadratic, what does that mean? We say it's not perfect square, perfect biquadratic. That means it cannot have a proper real fourth root. Like real can be there, but it won't be having an integral fourth root. Okay? Its value will not be integral. It will be fractional. I'm erasing it. So all I had was a to the power 4 is 480. I'm not sure what is the value of a. But there's one thing which I know. That is, 1 to the power 4 is 1, 2 to the power 4 is 16, 3 to the power 4 is 81, 4 to the power 4 is 256, 5 to the power 4 is 625. Now I need to stop because I have already crossed 480. 480 is lying between these two, yes or no? 480, 480 should lie in between these two, isn't it? Ankit, not 4 square, 4 to the power 4. Radha, I didn't get your query. Like, what are you exactly asking? Should lie between 4 and 5. Answer is B. Clear? This is a good question. A cat level question. Coming to next. Okay. There's no minus here. Don't get confused. Sanskar, of course, that can be done, but that can happen only if it's a perfect square, otherwise not. Isn't it? Sanskar. ये नीति अपने आप धीरे धीरे प्रैक्टिस से होगा. डोंट वरी. एक बार कोर्स कंप्लीट हो जाए तो फिर देखो हर टॉपिक पे 50-60 सवाल तो लगाने ही पड़ते हैं कॉन्फिडेंस लाने के लिए. ब्रैकेट कहाँ एंड हो रहा है? जस्ट इज इट नॉट एंडिंग? वेट आई विल राइट इट. लेट मी सी. log base 2 the square bracket 3 plus log base 3 the curly bracket 4 plus log base 4 the simple bracket x minus 1. It gets closed, this gets closed. All right, it'll be here. Minus 2 is equal to 0. We have to find the value of 4x, not x. Okay. It is easy now. Like in the first question, I did those dabba and gola. It's not required anymore because now you can deal with a lot of data. Okay. So this whole, whatever it is, I'm just writing it. I don't want to write this much, no? This is equal to, right? आकृति समझ में आ जाएगा. देखो अभी ठीक है. आकृति look at this. ये अलग है, -2 को यहाँ भेज दिया मैंने. Becomes +2. Let's say come back. Okay. Akriti, is that clear? So whatever inside the square bracket, I took it as a dabba. 2 goes there. Well, which means the value of dabba is 2 square. Clear? I took this as dabba. So this whole will be 3 plus log. एक काम करते हैं, सिंपल कर देते हैं. इस पूरे को मैं एक गोला मान लेता हूँ. 3 plus this is equal to 2 square. Is that right? ठीक है ना? Which means this gola, which happens to be this whole, which is log base 3 inside the curly bracket is 4 plus something. Let that be, as they say, khamba. Okay, this is closed. This is equal to how much? 4 minus 3, that is 1. Clear? Akriti? क्लियर ना? इतना लंबा लिखा ही नहीं मैंने ताकि देख के डर लगे ना किसी को. Cool? मुझे लग रहा है डब्बे गोले से अच्छा हो जाता है. Okay, now this 3 goes here. 3 to the power 1 is 3. Okay, so 4 plus this is equal to 3 to the power 1. That is 3. All right. Let's solve it further. What I called khamba was nothing but log of x minus 1 base 4 is equal to 3 minus 4 is minus 1. Cool. Now I think it is solvable. 4 goes here. So x minus 1 is 4 raised to power minus 1. So x is equal to this 1 by 4 plus 1, which means the value of x is equal to 5 by 4. We got the answer. All right. Aditi has a query. I didn't get why we did 3 in the second step. We have 3 over here, no, Aditi? This whole, I assume this whole has the dabba to write as less expressions as possible. Clear, Aditi? So now just look at it once. Look at it and try to absorb the information. It is clear, very much clear. If it's not clear, then ask me. Done this way, Preeti, very good. Is it helping? I thought I'm cracking a joke, but if it is really helping you guys, then I think you can continue doing it this way. It makes your life easier. So x is 5 by 4, right? And the question asks the value of 4x. The value of 4x. So 4 times 5 by 4 is 5. That happens to be our answer. Or we can go on. Vihana, right. WRIGST. Did you meet the right brothers? Right hand side, Kashish? Yeah, sure. See, we have minus 1 here. 4 is the base. If I send 4 here and remove log, so 4 becomes the base and minus 1 goes to the power. 4 to the power minus 1 is 1 by 4, isn't it? So x minus 1 is 1 by 4, which means x is 1 by 4 plus 1. Okay, now going to the next one. Dhire, the level of difficulty of questions is increasing. Previous question was also cat level. This also happens to be a cat level question. Question starts from here. Try solving it. Fourth grade also gone. Oh, let me see. That going back will be difficult. You watch it once. If in case the problem, just put the screenshot and tag me over there. Looks like Mitchell Stark is going to take five wickets. Huh? How many of you cannot approach the question? Okay. See, to solve a good question, we need to believe in our memory. So there are certain things which are kind of familiar to us. For example, this root 1 plus x and this root 1 minus x and this root of 1 minus x squared. Can you identify this? Product of this and this becomes this. Yes or no? So if I assume, let me assume, let. तो डब्बा सर्कल की जगह मैं ए और बी मान लेता हूँ. डब्बा और बक्सा whatever है ना. So let a is equal to root of 1 plus x and b be equal to root of 1 minus x. Once I say that, this means the product of a and b will be root of 1 minus x square. Yes or no? Is this clear? Now you won't get stuck. Is this clear to all of you? Yes, Harsh. A square minus b square identity. Is that clear? Now if I use this automatically, अच्छा एक बात ध्यान दी, plus minus multiplication division हो तो यही सब रहा है, but it's looking difficult. Why? Because the expressions are huge. So by using the dabba and gola, I was not doing nothing but trying to reduce the length of expression. This is what I'm doing here also. So if things are less to see, it is easier to comprehend. This is the main learning of this class. And this is the main learning in algebra. In algebra, we can assume, suppose a lot of things. That is how algebra becomes the most scoring. It looks the most difficult, but at the very same time, I would tell you what, it is the most scoring. Like in my case, normally it happens that 8 questions are there in algebra. And in the first 7 minutes, my average, I solve all the questions of algebra. Just 7 minutes. Why 7? Because some questions are difficult. तो 8 सवाल कर लिए तो 7 मिनट में ही I cross 95% in cons. And then in the remaining time, I try to solve other things. So that is what I want and I expect you to do. The same thing. पहले मैं 7 में कर रहा हूँ, तुम मान लो 15 मिनट में कर लोगे. पहले 15 मिनट में तुम अलजेब्रा के 8 सवाल कर लो. You will already be at 95th percentile and the remaining time you can just score, maximize the score. कि algebra is the easiest in an aptitude paper. Due to these two reasons, there are more reasons to it. Like in sequences, series, and functions, there can be multiple reasons that algebra can be solved quickly, and that too accurately. Okay. There's also one very good part about algebra, that having a theta question in algebra is very difficult. Theta is type in the answer. At least 6 out of 8 questions in algebra would be having options, and due to options becomes very easy. Okay, Rano, it will be happening with you as well. Don't worry. Okay. So now let's put the value. I can rewrite this question as 5 minus log a. Base 10 is given. I'm not writing base. We know base will be 10 if not written. Plus 4 log b is equal to log of 1 upon ab. Now I think it will be easy for all of us to solve. Pranav, for every chapter, till the time of cat, अभी तो तैयारी कर रहे हो, अभी जब लाइव क्लास चल रहा है तो एक चैप्टर 50 सवाल लगाओ, and till the end, before cat, in algebra, try to solve at least 100 questions in all the topics each. इतना कर लो. Okay, now it becomes easy for all of us. ठीक है, जल्दी सॉल्व कर दे इसको. अनी सिर्फ अलजेब्रा अरिथमेटिक के 100% सॉल्व कर दिए एक्यूरेसी के साथ, तो कितने क्वेश्चन आ जाएंगे? 99. दैट मेक्स मोर देन हाफ ऑफ द पेपर. अनी अर्णव रीटा में नेगेटिव मार्किंग नहीं होती. जिन लोगों का पहले नहीं हुआ था, अभी सॉल्व करो इसको. आई थिंक नाउ इट विल बी इजियर. लव मान सकते हो, बिल्कुल मान लो। Yeah, hi. How many of you could not solve it? I just received a call. The answer is 99. The answer is 99. All right. Should I solve it now? Now tell me something. Some people got it, some people not get it. Those who could not get it, where are you getting stuck? And then I'll try to pinpoint that particular step. At which point, at which step are you getting stuck? Last step. Last of what I have written. See, the problem you might be facing over here is that you cannot add things because here it is log A, log B, here it is log 1 by log 1 by B. Isn't it? That might be the problem. So, what if I do it? 5 इसको मैं लिखता हूँ minus log A plus 4 log B is equal to minus log AB. Does that look good? On the right hand side, I did some manipulation. क्या किया उसको मैंने? This 1 by AB is nothing but AB to the power minus 1. Let's take minus common. Now it makes sense. This is some. So see, why I'm telling you this, because I needed you to know that at which part, at what steps can you get stuck and why you get stuck. You got stuck because here A and B were denominator, here it was in numerator. That was the reason. But now things are simple. Now it was very simple, yes or no? And not just this, I can utilize more properties of logs and make it even simpler. How? See, this is log AB. This time it is log A plus log B, isn't it? This is minus log A minus log B. Make sense? क्या यही प्रॉब्लम हो रही थी आप लोग को? Tell me in the comments. Now things are very simple. Let us send these over there. By the way, minus log A gets cancelled from both the sides. We're only left with log B. The life becomes very simple now. Let us send it over there. Over there. That becomes minus 5 log B. 5 and 5 will also get cancelled. We'll have log B is equal to minus 1. All right. Base is 10. So the value of B will be 10 to the power minus 1. Or I can say 1 by 10. All right. So B is 1 by 10. Let's put it over here. 1 by 10 is the value of root of 1 minus x. Let's put the value of B back here. So, Neha, what happened? Y minus कौन सा बोल रही हो? Which minus, Neha? This minus of log AB, no? 4 log B, here it is plus. If it goes to right hand side, it becomes minus. No, that is the reason. Neha. So 1 by 10 is this. Squaring both the sides, I'll get 1 by 100 is equal to 1 minus x, which means the value of x is 99 by 100. We need to find the value of 100x. Cross multiplying, I get 99 as the answer. Clear? हो गया ना सॉल्व प्रणव? जो समझ में आया कि why things are manipulated mathematically and why what has to be done. So only this take home lesson is here we had things in numerator, here we had things in denominator, and to make them similar, I just put a minus outside and reverse the fraction. This is the key takeaway. When you are making notes, note it down. Put a star over there and put it down. Just because we needed things to be similar on both sides, that's why we use that property. Or no, log AB is log A plus log B, right or no? The product rule, the first rule. Coming to next. Well, this question. Nakshatra? Cancelling logs on both sides, that's why I didn't know. Shubhangi, this will come with practice. You all have done these things 5 years ago. It's just that you're doing it again and you tend to forget. Who is not able to approach the question? Okay. See, whenever we have these kind of values, more than 1 equal to, always remember that we have to assume all of them to be equal to certain constant. Because they are equal, they have to be some constant, any value. So I'm assuming it to be equal to k. Let's say it's equal to k. All right? All right? So solving one by one, the first ratio to k, we get the value of log p is equal to k times q minus r. And the value of log q is equal to k times r minus p. And the value of log r is equal to k times p minus q. Is that right? Right? So always remember this. When you're making notes, ये लिख लो वहाँ पे. When you have more than one equal to sign, always assume it to be equal to one constant. Have you noted it down? Yes or no? Noted? Tell me noted in the comments. These are a few simple mathematical tricks so that through which we get the answers quickly. And once we have done that, as you can see here, to talk about the product of PQR, which means if I involve the first property, this product rule, if I add them all, log P plus log Q plus log R, what's going to happen? Log P plus log Q plus log R. I'm going to add them all. So in the right hand side, if you can see, everything gets cancelled, right? Positive Q, negative R, negative P, positive P. If you add them all, it becomes K times 0. So this is 0. Yes or no? Cool. First property, because if it's an addition, PQR will get multiplied. Log PQR is equal to 0. And the value of PQR becomes base is 10. 10 to the power 0 is 1. The answer is 1. Clear? These are very good questions. The first two questions are concept builders. Rest all the questions are proper cat level questions. Very good, Harsh. Cool. Now let us go to the next question. ये कैसे होगा? Wow, so many answers and all correct. क्या किया आप लोगों ने इसमें? Yeah, Harsh, I'm back. Well, exactly. Log A base B can be written as log A upon log B with a different base. That base can be C. This is known as change of base. One more property, just add it in the notes where you're writing all the properties. ठीक है? C can be anything. So here in this case, let C be 10. So we have log 3 base 2 can be written as log 3 upon log 2. I'm assuming the base to be 10. Multiplied by log 4 upon log 3. As you can see, everything gets cancelled. Log 5 upon log 4. This keeps on happening. At one point of time, you'll get log of n plus 1 upon log n, that is equal to 10. So things get cancelled. So in the end, this will get cancelled, right? All we are left with is the denominator of the first fraction, and numerator of the last fraction. So we have log of n plus 1 upon log 2 is equal to 10. That's what we have with us. Taking the reverse of this property, we write it as log of n plus 1 base 2 is equal to 10. Rest you know. Removing log, I'll get n plus 1 equal to 2 to the power 10. 2 to the power 10 is 1024. So value of n is 1023. Very good. Certificate also gone. Okay. I think it's clear over everyone. Now let's go to the next. This question. So here we have inequality. I think inequality is done in your class, right? Inequality has been done, no? Great. Let's try to solve this. Khushi? Okay, Arno, to this question, I'll just give you one simple recap through this question. देखो, एक बात तो clear है that x square minus 8x plus 25 will be less than 10 to the power 1. Is the first step clear to all of you? We have log here, right? Base is supposed to be 10. This is clear, right? Yes or no? Now I can send 10 to left hand side and it will subtract. So we'll have x square minus 8x, let it be here, plus 15 is less than 0. Cool? Okay? Here comes the best thing. Now all of you know that this thing is a quadratic expression, isn't it? It's a quadratic expression with the first term, coefficient, being positive and being 1. So this will look like, the graph will look like this, isn't it? This thing will be 3 and this thing will be 5. Yes or no? I can break it as x minus 3 multiplied by x minus 5, which I think all of you have done. Is that right? By 15? Shelly, 10 को यहाँ लाओ ना? 10 minus करेगा ना? 25 minus 10 is 15. Right, Shelly? Is the graph clear to all of you? The graph is clear. Okay. Now we need the values at which this entire expression is negative, less than 0. So less than 0 कहाँ पे है? Less than 0 कहाँ पे है? ध्यान से देखना. This yellow part is negative, isn't it? It lies below x-axis, negative y, and the green part, this whole is positive, isn't it? Which means that from, are you getting it? That means that from minus infinity to 3, this graph is positive. From 3 to 5, this graph is negative. And from 5 to positive infinity, this graph is positive. And at 3 and 5, this graph is equal to 0. Right? Clear? So as you can see here, the 3 and 5 will not be included. Why? Because at 3 and 5, graph is 0. Is this clear? What I wrote in the rough side, the rough notes, I think you will make it. The graph. Clear? तो इसी क्वेश्चन में अगर वो बोलता पॉजिटिव, यहाँ ग्रेटर देन होता, तो आंसर क्या होता? माइनस इनफाइनाइट टू 3 एंड 5 to infinity. अगर वो इक्वल होता, तो आंसर क्या होता? 3 and 5. It is negative, so answer is 3 to 5, where 3 and 5 are not included. Okay, and I think all of you know the meaning of the intervals. Simple bracket 3 or 5. This means 3 and 5 are not included, but everything in between 3 and 5 are included. Clear? जिन लोगों को कंफ्यूजन हो रही है इंक्लूड नहीं होगा, वो लोग ये देख लो ग्राफ एक बार. Is the graph clear or not? Tell me in the graph is clear. Write that in the comment. ठीक है? What if the question was like this? उस केस में आंसर क्या होता हमारा? माइनस इन्फिनिटी टू 3 in open interval, union 5 to infinity again in open interval. And infinity is always open because you never know what infinity is. Okay, so second question of the same, part 2 of the same question is this. The answer will be this. Okay, and this, so it depends on options. This can be an option. The option can also be all real numbers minus क्या होगा? शुभ्रजीत, आपने लिखा all real numbers minus 3, 5. That is wrong actually. Here we would have a closed interval. This is very important, शुभ्रजीत. सारी चीज़ सीखने के बाद भी गलत कर दोगे अगर ये बात नहीं समझे तो. Real numbers minus 3, 5 in square bracket because 3 and 5 would not be included. Love, तुमने लिखा वही गलत है. Not the curly brackets. ठीक है ना शुभजीत? Do not make that mistake. And even Harsh, because you liked Shubhajit's comment. Harsh, get it clear? आर्यन सेकंड ब्रैकेट नहीं होगा. सेकंड ब्रैकेट किसे बोलते हो? सिंपल कर्ली को? नो, वो नहीं होगा. कर्ली ब्रैकेट इज अ सेट. सी, दिस इज ओपन इंटरवल, दिस इज क्लोज इंटरवल, एंड दिस इज अ सेट क्लोज्ड ओपन. सत्यजीत नहीं, 3, 4, 5 का मतलब ये हुआ कि तुम 3.2, 3.5 इनकी बात ही नहीं कर रहे. एग्जैक्टली प्रणव, गलत कमेंट के लाइक को जरूर देख लेता हूँ मैं. 10 कहाँ से? आज मुझे तो वही बात हो गई कि रामायण खत्म और सीता किसका बाप था? अरे बेस 10 लेंगे जब तक ना गिवन हो, शुरुआत से बोल रहा हूँ मैं, ठीक है? So someone who wrote 3, 4, 5, that's also wrong because 3, 4, 5 will include only 3, only 4, and only 5, nothing in between, है ना? हाँ, आंसर 3, 5 है रिया, तो बता ही चुका हूँ मैं। सेकंड पार्ट का आंसर ये, इट कैन बी दिस और दिस, डिपेंड, सी दिस क्वेश्चन ऑलवेज बीन ऑप्शंस, तो ऑप्शन ये भी हो सकता है, ये भी हो सकता है। ऑलराइट, हाँ प्रणव, मैंने यही बोला था, रामायण खत्म हो गई, सीता किसका बाप था, दैट इज द क्वेश्चन ना। ये तो सबको पता है कि सीता इज अ फीमेल, अगर पूछे किसका बाप था, दैट मीन्स दैट कैन बी द मोस्ट वियर्ड क्वेश्चन। हाउ टू मेक ग्राफ, सूर्यांश, फॉर दैट देयर विल बी डिफरेंट चैप्टर ऑल टू फंक्शंस एंड ग्राफ्स, वहाँ सिखा दूंगा मैं। आई थिंक दिस इज क्लियर, this part is clear, right? I repeated this because some people are confused in the usage of brackets. Now I think everyone is clear with that. Coming to the next question. और वेदांति, yes. Query to your question is yes. Kunal says too much to absorb. इतना कहाँ है कुणाल, अभी तो कुछ पढ़ा ही नहीं है। Divi or Divya, what's your name? Divya, you took x minus 5, x minus 3 to be less than 0 separately, but no. The reality is, Divya, if you're listening to me, it is the product of x minus 5 and x minus 3 that is less than 0, which means, Divya, listen to me carefully, which means the product is x minus 5 and x minus 3 is less than 0, which means if x minus 5 is less than 0, x minus 3 would be greater than 0. Getting it? And vice versa. एक नेगेटिव एक पॉजिटिव, तभी तो प्रोडक्ट लेस देन 0 आएगा। दोनों नेगेटिव ले लोगे तो प्रोडक्ट पॉजिटिव हो जाएगा। ओके दिव्या, टेल मी इन द कमेंट्स इफ दैट्स क्लियर। Okay, Shruti. Now this question is very easy. I don't think I have to even solve it, right? Log 35. Log 35, what is it? This is equal to what? क्या कर सकते हैं? Log 5 multiplied by 7, isn't it? Which means it is equal to log 5 plus log 7, right? Log 5 is log of 10 by 2 plus log 7, which is log 10 minus log 2 plus log, and log 7 यहाँ log 14 दे रखा है, so log 14 by 2, which means it is log 10 minus log 2 plus log 14 minus log 2. Put the values as given and get the answer, right? I think this is how you must have done it. Clear? And put the values. Log 10 is equal to 1, rest all the values given in the question itself. ठीक है? 1.544. Well. Okay. Now that's how you know it, no? Okay. Now I won't tell you something interesting about logs. Now listen to me very carefully. This is the last part of this class. We discussed earlier when a to the power x is equal to b, that means log b base a is equal to x. That is what we know. हाँ रिया, हमेशा log 10 लेना पड़ेगा. Okay. Now I want you to understand the behavior of logs. Pay attention. Forget everything that you are doing. Pay attention here. See, if I write something like let's say log of -1, what will be the value? Is it possible to have a value like this? It's not possible. So if here you can see if this a is not a fraction, then this is not even possible. B can never be negative, right? So log of negative does not exist, cannot be determined. It does not exist. Anything raised to power anything can never be negative, isn't it? Anything raised to power anything can never be negative. That is why it doesn't exist. Log of 0, that also does not exist. Why? Because anything raised to power anything can never be 0. Anything raised to power anything can never be 0, right? If I say log of 1, this will be equal to 0, whatever the base is. By the way, in our case, base is 10, but whatever the base is, anything raised to power 0 is 1. Rather, I'm just saying, किसी भी चीज की पावर कुछ भी हो जाए, ये कभी नेगेटिव नहीं हो सकता. कम से कम 1 तो होगा, right? Log 1 is 0, whatever the base is. This is something that is clear to us. Okay. And log of negative does not exist. That means, okay, this is x-axis and this is y-axis. So here, the graph will never be towards the negative side of x. Right? Okay. Yeah, Kashani, that's what I said. Pritam, -1 nahi. Cheezein naturally, see, logs are taken on numbers that are natural. Okay. A and B both have to be greater than 0. Well, so log 1 is 0 and log 0 is not determinable. Okay, so this is clear to all of us. Also, if I say log of 1 by 2, this will be equal to minus of log 2. This will be negative. This will be negative. Here log will be negative. Now tell me something, or taking a very simple example, log of 1 by 10 will be equal to -1. So what exactly is happening here? What exactly is happening here? If I take a fraction, a proper fraction, the value has become negative. And if I take 1, the value is 0. If you remember, the value of log 2 was 0.3010, isn't it? This is positive. So let me make a table for you. If I want to take, so let's say this is x and this is log x. Now, try to understand this clearly. X is negative, log x does not exist. Make this table. X is negative, log x does not exist. Clear? Okay. X is 0, log x does not exist. All right? राधा मैं इसलिए दोबारा अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन कर रहा हूँ. पहले मैं कुछ बता रहा था. Now explaining it clearly. I'll write everything so that it becomes very easy for you. Okay? इसको ध्यान से देखो. पहले मैं ग्राफ दिखाया, भूल जाओ उसको. Let's look at this. I'll make the graph after this. Log 0 does not exist. Why? Because nothing raised to power 0 can be, nothing raised to power anything can be 0. Okay. Now see, 0 to 1. What is 0 to 1, by the way? What exactly is 0 to 1? In an open interval. This is an open interval, right? Everything in between 0 and 1, but not 0 and 1. This is the range where fractions exist. Am I clear? In between 0 and 1, fractions exist. Right? These are fractions. So, itni class karne ke baad, itne sare sawal karne ke baad, we got this, that log 1 by a, right? It was minus of log a. So, as you can see, when we had a fraction, the value became negative, isn't it? The value became negative. So, when this is a fraction, log x will be a negative value. It will be a negative value. Negative. In terms of interval, I can write it as, this is minus infinity to 0 in open interval. Isn't it? ये बात समझ में आई? Negative in language, English में बोलेंगे negative, mathematics में बोलेंगे minus infinity to 0 in open interval. Yes or no? That is happening? Clear to everyone? Well, let's move further. ध्यान देना, नेगेटिव सारे देख लिए, 0 देख लिया, 0 से 1 के बीच देख लिया, अब हमें लिखना है 1. If x is 1, then log x will be 0. Okay? Now we will move ahead. If x is 10, I'm taking base as 10, then log x will be 1. Yes or no? Log 10 is 1. Log 10 is 1. If I take it as 100, log 100 will be 2. 10 का स्क्वायर 100 होता है, 10 की पावर 110 होता है. All this is clear to you? All this is clear to you? Now there will be something. 1 और 10 के बीच में जो कुछ भी है, 1 to 10 in an open interval, this will be lying in between 0 and 1, in between open interval. Yes or no? Makes sense? So if the value of x lies between 1 and 10, 1 and 10 excluded, the value of log will lie in 0 and 1. For example, if you remember the example of log 2, do you? Example, log 2. Log 2 क्या था? 0.3010. See, so 2 lies between 1 and 10, and this lies in this range. राइट? क्वेश्चन नहीं समझा रहा मैं, सीधा एग्जाम्पल. log 1 की वैल्यू 0 है. एक बात सोचो, log 1 इज 0, तो log 2 0 से बड़ा होगा, log 3 भी बड़ा होगा, log 10 1 हो जाएगा. तो बेसिकली 1 और 10 के बीच में, if x lies in between 1 and 10, log x will lie in between 0 and 1. Make sense? Very simple. Log 10 was 1, log 100 was 2. So in between 100 and 10 and 100, this will be in between 1 and 2 in an open interval. Yes? Vedanti is excited. She is saying yes, yes. I love this word, yes, yes, because this gives a proper expression. हाँ प्रणव, आते हैं, वहाँ भी आते हैं, पहले ही देख लो. Is this clear? Now tell me something. Clear to all of you? This is making a lot of sense, isn't it? All right. Log 1000 is 10 cube. It is equal to 3. Which means if I take anything between log of 100 to log 1000, it will be equal to in between 2 and 3 in open interval. No problem there. आ गया मजा? ठीक है. अब इससे हमें सीख क्या मिलती है? What is the mathematical learning over here? And that mathematical learning is a real thing in real world. It is happening with all of you. I'll just show you how it is happening. So now let's try to plot a graph. It will make more sense now because we have all the values with us. X cannot be negative. That means there will be no graph in the negative side of x. In positive, we'll be having some graphs. See, if you look like this, I'll tell you why it looks like this. This is 1, 0, right? ये वाला वैल्यू वहाँ पे लिख दिया मैंने. Okay. Okay. Now what is happening? This range was actually fractions. See, fractions. Now listen to me carefully. X went from 0 to 1. That is fraction. X went from 0 to 1, and y, this vertical, it went from minus infinity to 1. To, isn't it? To 0. See, ये कहाँ शुरू हुआ पता नहीं, और यहाँ आगे मिल गया. So what is happening? When x was a fraction, the graph was very steep. The graph was rising at a very high speed. Is that clear? X में सिर्फ एक कदम आगे बढ़ा, but y में वो infinite कदम आगे बढ़ चुका है. Can we say it? I'm repeating in English. X has moved just one step, while y has moved infinite steps. Yeah, Anurag, of course. If log of prime is, we know that, then we can get all the others, because others are composite numbers only. But is this clear? I'm saying it again. If x moves one step, y will move infinite steps initially. अब उसके बाद क्या हो रहा है? This is 10, 1. See, log 10 is equal to 1. ठीक है? This value is, this is 10, this is 1. Now you can see x has moved from 1 to 10, x has moved 9 steps, but y has moved only 1 step. ये 0 से 1 तक ही पहुंचा ना? Is that clear? Is it making sense? In the realm of functions, in the realm of fractions, x was moving only by 1 step, but y moved infinite steps, and after that, from 1 to 10, x moved only 9 steps, while y moved only 1 step. That means now the graph is not that steep. Moving further, if this is 2, यहाँ कहीं आएगा, this will be 100, 100, 2. At 100, the value of log was 2. Now see, x has moved 10 to 190 steps, while y has moved only 1 step. Isn't it? Now the slope is becoming lesser and lesser as we are going towards positive x-axis. Now what does that mean? That the speed at which the value of graph grows, that speed becomes slower with every step. And that is what, that is how the behavior of logarithmic curves is. Got it everyone? जैसे जैसे आगे बढ़ते जाओगे इसका स्लोप कम होता जाएगा. एक टाइम ऐसा आएगा कि आपको लगेगा कि ये आगे बढ़ ही नहीं रहा, ये ऊपर जा ही नहीं रहा. It is a straight line. It will never be straight. It will look straight. However, that's not parabola. No, that's a logarithmic curve. Clear to everyone? Mathematically it's clear. Now do you want to listen to the philosophical aspect of it? This is how humans also behave. When you try to prepare, when you started preparing for CAT, initially, your interest, your energy was so high, so high. It's not just CAT, even in love. When you fell in love for the first time, for the initial few months or few days, it was going like this. At every, initially, isn't it? When you move from 0 to 1, your love, your intention, whatever, in any sphere of life, grew infinitely, and slowly over time, it gets lowered down. Be that cat, be that life, be it love, be it anything in this world, everything in the world moves logarithmically. यही सच है. Okay, so I want to tell you about this thing. But a person who is determined always tries to be in this domain, the domain of fractions, so that their growth, their determination is always moves with infinite slope. Radha, exception की बात नहीं कर दी. We always have to be in the domain of functions, so that we are always growing infinitely. This is the domain of normal people. This is the domain where I want all of us should be. So this way, while end the class, logs is clear, the formula are clear, the graph is clear, and even mathematical motivation is clear. It's done. So we'll meet again in the next session. Bye bye everyone. Radha, where? You think okay, अब चलें? कहाँ? चलो, bye bye.